And we're back. Okay. Well, so we're playing against Jared. We're playing Gyarados Goblins in Modern. He's playing Blue-White Miracles. And yeah, he won game 1. This is game 2. Trying to go just as fast and efficiently as possible. Got rid of the Krenko and a Snoop and a Horde Master. All good cards for him to get out of here. Now, end step, I'm putting the Snoop into play. Putting a trap. We have a Trash Master on top. Untap a keep. Power goes to 3 and I'll draw. Sling Gang on top. I can play the Sling Gang because I have a Skirk. So whether or not I want to try to force damage. And I think that getting the Sling Gang in play deals the most damage. So we're going to sack with the Skirk. Sack a Matron to the Skirk to make a red. This triggers the Horde Master. Death Trigger exiles the top card of my library. It is a Sling Gang. We knew about that. It's cool because then we get to see another card and decide whether or not we want to cast the top card, which is new, or the Sling Gang, which we have until next turn. We decided to go Sling Gang because next turn he's representing Wrath, or Supreme Verdict. Now we have to figure out what we want to attack with. We're going to attack with the Snoop and the Lord because Snoop is 3 and the Lord is 1. That's 4 coming in at the Ashiok, and 2 in the face, putting him down to 14. This takes the Ashiok off the board, so now I can combo next turn if he doesn't Wrath. If he does Wrath, then I get a bunch of death triggers. Decides to just pass. I have another Matron, so I don't care about the top card. I'll Matron trigger Tutor. Go get the Harbinger. Looking at some cards, trying to figure out, is that what I wanted to grab? Inside, yeah, it's nice to just be able to hold the vial on 3. If he doesn't do anything in my end step, or in his end step, if he lets me go to my turn and untap with this vial, I can just play the aggro route. Top card is another munitions expert. I can just say, well, what I'll do here is sack for a red to the Skirk. Same thing. Death trigger. This gets exiled. Then you see the top card. Top card is another creature. But now I have 4 mana, so I can use this 1 mana. I tell him he doesn't lose life. It's not the Sling Gang. Use the mana and the 3 to cast the Trash Master as a second Lord. The 1/1s will now be 3/3s, forcing him to purge, Celestial Purge, the Trash Master, which then I get to throw at the Sling Gang at his face. Now I get to go combat, attack with everything besides the Snoop. And then thinking about whether or not I want to die to Snapcaster Mage. A flash creature is kind of bad. It can trade with my Sling Gang and then I don't kill him. However, if he has it, he has it. I force him to just have it. If he does nothing here, then I have enough to just sack my stuff to Sling Gang. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 coming through, and then I have 6 Goblins on the field. If he goes to kill my Sling Gang before damage, in response, I'm able to, it just concedes because he knows that I have the Harbinger and the Vial on 3, so even if he kills my Sling Gang in response, I can combo. Yep, just important against control or against anybody who's really just has mana up for interaction. Really important for you to just know, what the points that they're incentivized to interact at are, and force them to interact in a way that's favorable to you. In that situation, I played the Sling Gang to be aggressive and to force a bolt on the Sling Gang. The Trash Master then took an even higher priority than the Sling Gang, and then the Snoop coming down wasn't even thought about. So even if he played the last path that he had to kill my Sling Gang, preventing him from dying to combat damage, then in response to this, the path being on the stack, I can then combo Viling in the Harbinger to go infinite. So I forced him to use his interaction on the Trash Master, whereas if I just jam combo there, he kills my Snoop, and then I still might be able to get there, but again, he has the path for my Sling Gang, and then I probably am a couple points short, and we saw he had a board wipe. So in this matchup, we could bring in Blood Moons. I saw a bunch of Field of Ruins and basics on his side. so I don't think it's the greatest. Also, we have a lot of Rakdos and black cards, so bringing in Blood Moon is like a real detriment in like a mid-range control matchup. It's not the greatest. We're trying to bring it in against decks that completely hoses, completely shuts down. So if we go into game number 3, this one was a slog. So it looks like Jared leads off, fetch land, surveils at the end step. I go fetch land, surveil at the end step. Jared untaps, plays a land, passes. This is me resolving that surveil. Magic the Gathering. Magic the Shuffling. All of the above. Ooh, shout out to Jared. Jared's really good at the Miracles deck. He's a good player all around. I think he doesn't have a lot of like positive reinforcement. And so I just want to say, Jared, if you're watching this, you're a good player. And yeah, you know how to play the blue-white real well. It's nice to see a fellow aficionado, someone committed to an archetype, playing it well. And if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose to somebody like Jared, who plays the deck really well. From this point on, I'm gonna go double speed, which is kind of insane, but this is a very long game. So we're just kind of playing. I'm playing threats through with a cavern, trying to play through his removal, draw it out. So I punt a couple times in this game. The first one is next turn. So I play a Lord, attack for 3, purge the Lord, takes 2, goes to 17. After I play a Skirk, I was going to say, and my tier there being a reference to the fact that if I played the Skirk before, I get to have a death trigger. Exiling the top card, which could be a creature. It is a matron, so yeah, that would be a free draw. I'd have an extra card in my hand, and I could cast that off the top, because I end up still casting the matron here. We end up exerting the arena, casting a matron. I'm going mad with power here. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm thinking I'm going to push damage, but then I sack the matron, then I hasted to make a red. And so it's like, what am I even doing? Huge punt. Huge punt. I thought that was going to push damage, but it definitely just wasn't. Brain Surges, gets to put 2 cards on top of his library. Goes down to 11. Terminuses. I'll get some death triggers because the Skirk is awesome. And if I hadn't exerted that arena, I'd have an extra mana here, so I could go play the hasty trawler, deal 3, put them to 8. And if I put them to 8, then you're going to see later, they're going to be stuck on 3 for a very long time. So that was the punt. They had removal, so they would have definitely been able to kill the trawler if I did arena hasted out. But now they're able to hit the arena, go get a basic, slow me down quite a bit. So that was the big punt. Big punt in this match was playing it like that. Really close, though. Really close. Hardcast Kikijiki. I should have tapped to copy my trawler. The issue with that being, if I do that, then he just paths the trawler and leaves me with the Kikijiki. And then I get to keep a Kikijiki. But now, setting up a Terminus, I feel very happy about him using the Terminus on the 1 trawler. Go grab the namesake, Goblin Ringleader. And I'm thinking about bolting it in now and casting it, but I decide to cast the trawler as a creature. Put some pressure on right now. Force a board wipe, force some interaction, and then next turn, I have enough mana where I can just cast the Ringleader and a 2-drop if I draw one. Sting Scourger being a Blood Moon here would have been really cool, but it would have really dampened me more than Jared. So now I have a pretty interesting option. I'm trying to figure out if I can like hit a lord off my ringleader. Jared slams a subtlety. Subtlety puts my ringleader back on top. I don't really want to Sting Scourger the subtlety. It's not really what I want to be doing, because then he gets another basically time walk. Yeah, he's like, is this in graveyard? I'm like, no, definitely not. Untap, draw. Slam the ringleader. Draw Krenko, Trash Man. Sting Scourger, bouncing Tamio. Takes a blocker off the field. I could have pushed a point of damage there, but then I lose the ringleader. They're at 5. I guess that's decent. There's a lot that I could have done differently in this match, but it was close overall. Sting Scourger definitely dies in the upkeep. We don't ever pay for that. Hardcast Sling Gang. Matron Tutor, Hardcast Sling Gang. Path the Sling Gang on the stack. I could have put him to 2. And then I win with another Sling Gang. So that's another punt. Passes it over. Draw a Trash Master, which is pretty good. Allows us to push damage through this Tamio uptick. Trying to figure out what plays around board wipe the best. Because I know he's going to Wrath next turn, almost definitely. Play a Kiki Jiki. It's got the highest upside. And I believe, if we go back, it was that, bounce nothing, and then uptick, yeah. Verdict's good. So verdict happens. The next turn, I go Hasty Harbinger, split the mana. Go get another Sling Gang. We should have thought forward enough to know that when the board wipe happens, if we don't have a Sling Gang on field, we haven't been able to attack efficiently. We should just throw all the damage upstairs and hope that we can deal more damage upstairs in the future. 2 hasty 2/1s. Board wiped again. Untap upkeep. Draw. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Put the Sling Gang on the bottom. We might not have even needed to haste there in the previous turn. Although if we go Harbinger plus Trash Master last turn, then we just have Harbinger plus Krenko this turn. And we don't really need to use the haste last turn. Really close. Really interesting. It's always fun to play against control, because you really need to do everything right. If you make mistakes, then they get much more value than usual. I'm really tanking because I'm trying to figure out whether or not the sequencing here is really important. Do I haste the Krenko first? Do I put the Trash Master out there and just pass? I think I drew another Matron. No. Just playing the Krenko. Chieftain. Tap Krenko. Jared responds with the Path. And I get lost. Making sure I know which one's getting Path, which one's getting get lost in case it matters in the future. I get 2 maps and a land and a whole bottle of tears. Because now this Jace is going to pretty much go unanswered for the rest of this game. And yeah, we go to time. We go to turns. In the final turn, skip forward just a little bit. So we keep slamming hasty threats that keep getting killed. Keep slamming hasty threats that keep getting killed. Snoop's good because it draws you a bunch of cards. Matron grabs another Sling Gang. He Supreme Verdicts 3 more times with the Tameo downtick, uptick, downtick, uptick. Eventually, I'm able to get a lot of things in play, but this is where if I threw the damage earlier in the game, I would have gotten there. Upticks. I am at the point where I don't want to draw. I don't want to draw, so we're at the point where when he ults this Jace, I'm just playing my land. I'm like, yeah, I'll play this land. I'll die. I'd rather do that than draw the game. 1000%. Shout out to Dom Striker. Shout out to May, the fucking legends, for commentating. Shout out to Nerd Edge Game for being an awesome place to host. And thank you, the watcher, for listening and hanging out with me. This has been another Goblin Ringleader episode.